The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
Y'all ready for this?
Booyah, as we were counted down in by our buddy John. It is Monday. We are back. August 7th, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Daylight Time, which means it's time for another installment of Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. My name is Bill Miller, along with
Jeff Belknap.
And we are here to bring you up to date as far as sports in general. Some topical items, obviously, locally here, which we try to concentrate on. And then, of course, we might, in fact, be visited in the last segment. We're anticipating or hoping for a friend of the show, the folks from Massage Band in Monrovia, California. And I'm hoping that they finally say that, they're absolutely going to positively open up a location here.
Yeah, well, they've talked about it, hinted about it. I mean, what more can they do except do it? It's time to make it happen.
Pull the trigger on it.
That's right.
Yeah, and, of course, they're actually second in my tier. Your friend from Detroit, obviously, is number one in terms of her moving her business here to Las Vegas.
I talked to her recently, and she did say that she had an interview scheduled.
Okay.
Yeah, things are looking up, and I guess she's in the design business, and there's a lot of building going on here. So
absolutely,
yeah.
Well, good for her. I wish her luck. First of all,
Tintin Design, by the way.
She's an extremely nice lady.
Yes.
And the fact that she is also extremely pleasant to look at. In fact, she's very intelligent.
She is.
She's successful at what she does.
Yep.
She does a very good job at it, and I think that the city of Las Vegas would be absolutely it would be a plus for the city.
Yes.
If she moves her business here from the D. I know that you're disappointed to see another business leave the D, but
yeah,
wow,
it happens.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of big things. Of course, the NFL season officially kicked off over the weekend with Thursday night, which was a little unusual versus the tradition of the Hall of Fame game being actually after the ceremonies. In this case, it was before, on Thursday night. No field mishaps or issues. If you have a short memory, last year was an absolute debacle.
Yep.
Something that had to do with them spray painting on the grass at the time. And they ended up canceling it, of course, left a real bad taste in the NFL, who was already kind of ducking and dodging some PR disasters. Replaced it with a brand new, spanking new turf field.
Yes.
And which bodes well for the local high school teams that play their championship games in that stadium. And but it was a Thursday night, relatively close game, but some scoring. Got a chance to see a lot, considering I think both teams, Arizona and Dallas, have about 90 guys right now on the roster. So you see some duplicate numbers. You see a lot of faces that within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you probably won't see. And then, of course, Saturday was the induction ceremony for this year's nominees, and a real wide range. We had from owner Jerry Jones all the way to a kicker, and only the second kicker, and Morton Anderson.
Yeah.
And then
well deserving, by the way.
Well deserving, and everything in between. We had one of the veterans in Kenny Easley, who first became, I think he said, eligible in, was it 87 or 92? I think it was 93.
Yeah,
he retired in 87.
Exactly.
He would have been eligible in 92.
Right.
And then, but the Veterans Committee put him in. Long time overdue. LaDainian Tomlinson. Obviously, he was already suited up for his jacket.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he had
his
that
first time on the ballot.
Yep.
And also one that played a really relatively short career, Terrell Davis.
Yep.
But what he managed to squeeze into those years, had it not been for injuries, the numbers that he would have put up.
Oh yeah.
But still,
he's completely dominant.
They looked at just the body of work in that period, and he made it in. And then, of course, Jason Taylor.
Yep.
Of the Miami Dolphins. Again, I think this is his first year of eligibility.
Yeah, I remember Jason Taylor. I joined a ESPN fantasy league, They actually, you could pick a defense and then a defensive player.
Yeah.
And he was my defensive player, and he just happened to lead the league in sacks that year. So put some major points up. And there was a couple of weeks where he actually outscored like one of my running backs.
Oh, that's that's harsh. Yeah. I think that's finally what drove me out of the fantasy league altogether. I have had terrible teams and luck. And I the last couple of years, I've just kind of passed up on it, and it's just one less headache I have a week of picking a team that I know is doomed every single week. But a real cross-section of talent, of positions. Once again, you didn't see, two positions of the same.
Right.
But, I'm sorry, how could I forget Kurt Warner?
Kurt Warner, yeah.
Yeah, and again, talk about, as he put it, a real Hollywood story. You couldn't write this.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, he played it at every level, including arena.
Yes.
But was literally stocking groceries. When he got the call.
And said that one of his inspirations was he was stocking Wheaties, and Dan Marino's picture was on it.
Yeah.
And he was just looking at it and saying, I can do this. I really need to do this. Also, the fact that he thanked his father and, of course, his wife for being patient with him.
Right.
Always believing in him and not saying, no, look, it's time for you to get a straight job.
Right.
Advertising, something.
Well,
auto insurance sales.
Well, the one thing about arena football that a lot of people don't understand is it's all timing.
It is.
It's basically that receiver is going to be there at this time, throw the ball. When he turns around, he's going to be there. Bodes very well with the West Coast offense.
Mm-hmm.
They throw to the spot, and the guy's supposed to be there to catch it. And they did very well.
Well,
putting that together with the Rams.
You think of the circumstances. The Rams pick him as a backup. They feel he's going to be a competent backup. And what happens to Trent Green?
What always happens?
What turns out it wasn't going to be the first thing.
Right.
First time it ever happened. And he's thrust into it. Okay, and next by the end of the year he's hoisting the Super Bowl Lombardi Trophy.
So great. I mean, if you think about it, same thing happened to Brady. I mean, he Bledsoe goes down and or as my buddy Tom puts it, bed sore. He always called him Drew Bedsore. But
little harsh.
Then he come back. Well, he always figured he was a little bit old. Hey, I want to give a shout out to a player, a local Valley player, Valley Viking.
Valley Viking High
School. Kerwin Williams scored the first touchdown in the Hall of Fame game. I'm sure that was pretty exciting for his family to see.
For the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
awesome.
young man.
It was great to see.
And of course, our tenure with the Vegas Kings.
Yep.
We were near and dear with. At one point, we were with that high school,
right?
And playing there, and but congratulations, young man.
Absolutely.
I know that your family had to be absolutely stoked. I hope they actually had a chance to make it out there,
right? For
that and to see that game.
Well, I mean, it just goes to prove like what we're doing here and what 702 SSBF.
SSBF, that's right.
What they're doing. I mean, they're basically giving these guys a little bit of a call, a little bit of exposure. There's a lot of kids right now that are going to be at the next level.
Yeah, and shout out to those guys because we had the privilege of having one of their hosts on the show.
Yep.
And these guys live and breathe high school football.
Oh man, it's great.
And
they go to practices and everything. It's like I often wonder where they get the time to do a lot of stuff they do.
Yeah. Well, we didn't want to dig too deep because maybe a conflict there somewhere. I never want to ask what people's day jobs are, how they manage to get from point A to point B.
He's a coach, man.
But he did also, he also extended an invitation for us,
right?
To come onto their show as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I love that.
Because believe it or not, rarely have we gotten such invites from people that we've had on.
As a matter of fact, I was actually thinking about this when I was coming in. The amount of rejection that we get, and it is actually alarming to me because it's. Our show is getting 20,000 hits a month or whatever it is.
Indeed, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And the odd thing is, like, no matter how good you're doing or how bad you're doing, it just seems like people don't like our type of business. Now, I wanted to give this a test. I wanted to actually do a show for a month on the AM and just to see, like, if all of a sudden everyone would get interested.
Suddenly, yeah.
Because I listen to some of these people that are on the local stations, and I can tell that they don't do any sort of homework whatsoever.
No.
You would think that they would have at least somebody there that like at least knows what's going on. But I listen to these shows and I want to give some names. No, but I'm just kidding. No, I don't. Let me get back on my tangent. So a couple guys retired and come out of retirement this week in the NFL. Vince Wilfork,
Yes.
from the Patriots, retired. I always liked that guy.
I always did too.
And he's a huge guy,
Yeah,
super
he's-
fast, just absolute beast, and kind of reminds me of the guy Donald, the guy that plays for the Rams, who really
yeah.
is the best lineman in the league. But Donald, to me, if you don't know who this guy is, watch him this year. This
Yeah.
guy is absolutely, completely dominant, cannot be blocked by anybody.
Has he reported to camp yet?
Not yet, but
Okay.
yeah, but not to worry. I mean, this guy is a absolute force, without a doubt, the best
it is
lineman
in
in the
the
league.
Rams' best interest to get this guy signed.
Yep.
Absolutely, please. I mean, you have, since moving to LA, haven't done anything else right, other than ditching their coach last year.
Right.
But this is a way to really kick off the season by not poo-pooing this and dragging it out. Get him into camp. Get him some reps. And then watch this guy flourish. He's special.
Well, speaking of poo-poo, I noticed that Anquan Bolden went to the Bills, which means the Lions actually let another wide receiver go. But not only did they not let another wide receiver go, but they still haven't signed Stafford, which basically is telling me that he's probably going to walk after this season, which basically means like RIP for the next 5 years. I mean, because the Lions don't draft any future ever.
It's for some. Well, you would know this more than anybody,
Right.
Being a D fan and being all things D related. And why is that? I mean, listen, we could talk about because they certainly have replaced the president of the company.
Yep,
believe they replaced the GM.
they did. Yep.
They've had obviously one of the best wide receivers and headed to Canton in 5 years.
Yep.
In Megatron.
But let him go because of the same thing that Barry Sanders left for, which was basically just a player that's upset and saying, I'm not going to do this anymore. But then, to me, like, when you're holding somebody's rights to play,
Yeah.
like, let the dude go play.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch decided to retire, right? Seattle was forced to have to, well, not really forced. They had a choice to let him go to the Raiders.
Right.
They got money. They got draft pick for
Yeah.
it. The Lions won't. They don't see that. They don't see the fact that they can actually get something for this guy. Just go let the guy play, and just go let the guy win somewhere.
Listen, these are not trademark moves, by the way.
No.
These are not moves that are proprietary rights of these teams.
Right.
This is, kind of right now in this day and age, standard GM 101.
Right.
And again, it's not like this is Ford money. Okay, so it's the everlasting, bank. It's always going to be there.
That's right.
Your ownership isn't going to change. And I just can't quite understand why there just isn't that.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so one more thing about players that I saw. Then this one is I absolutely love this. First of all, I'm just going to touch on Cutler real quick. I saw a meme the other day. It was Cutler with his helmet on with a cigarette in his mouth. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
That is so fitting to this guy. And to me, it's like, being a Detroit Lion fan and having the Bears in our conference, I actually liked Cutler. Mainly because he was absolutely garbage.
And you knew that there was
I
a
knew
win.
that was like at least one win,
At least
like
one win a
guaranteed.
year.
Good chance I can get two, Now Cutler's on Miami. I don't see any sense. I don't want to get into the political side of like not signing Kaepernick. The only thing I can say, wearing a Fidel Castro shirt and trying to get signed by Miami is probably not a super smart
Not a good
idea.
move.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Cubans down there, people that actually know what happened in Cuba, But anyways, all that aside, Kaepernick's a way better quarterback. I mean, he's a guy that actually can win some games for you. I mean, Miami's a 10-win. They won 10 games last season.
What happened?
Now, granted, they got outscored,
Yeah,
but they did win 10 games.
But what happened to the young man that ended up playing in the playoff game against Pittsburgh? I'm sorry, and his name just doesn't ring a bell, but he really was playing well.
Yeah.
While Tannehill was
I know. I vaguely remember that game.
But he is still on that roster,
Right.
And knows the playbook. Yeah, he knows the offense, and he certainly knows playing against some of those teams that they're going to end up having to play twice a year.
Yep.
Yeah, and the usual suspect being the one in New England.
Right.
But I just, I can't quite understand why they're, first of all, $10 million is $10 million. I don't know how you slice and dice
Right.
it.
But
Cutler
way too
has
much money.
never been the most enthusiastic individual I've ever seen in my life.
No.
He is, he's not a rah-rah guy. He doesn't inspire, a lot from his teammates. And, and he was on the Bears seemingly forever.
Yeah.
Yet, and everybody that left that team always had the same thing to say about him.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't, this guy's great. I'd play for him again. And, I wish him the very
Except
best.
except for Brandon Marshall. For some reason, they had a really good relationship. And
Well,
I think
that's because I think Brandon also went to Vanderbilt.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, he's also see him at the reunions.
Yeah. Well,
So-
Virginia.
Yeah. No,
No, I think didn't Cutler play at Virginia?
Vanderbilt.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. And
That's I care about
well,
Cutler.
it's just that you don't
know
find
where
too
he
many
played
guys
college.
from Vanderbilt that actually, are
Did
marquee
anything.
positions and standing out.
Well, I did. All I can say is just wish Miami the best, but because I'm not a hater for anyone except the Lakers, but
You can't get past that one. At least you're honest.
yeah, at least I'm honest. But I think Jarvis Landry is one of my favorite players, in the league right now, offensive players, and I just hope that he's able to put some stuff together. But yeah, what a terrible move.
It's going to be interesting. We're going to take our first break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk a bit about the upcoming preseason for the NFL, and then we're going to get into some baseball. Southern Nevada news coming to you from WWDBTV.com. We'll be right back.
Crazy Terry here with your car care tip of the day. Today's tip's about tire maintenance, how to check a tire, how to fill it properly. Okay, so as we can see, we've got a low tire. We probably saw that a month ago and said we'll fill it, but like everything, we let a day go by. Next thing you know, we got a problem. Properly check a tire, remove the valve cover, got a tire gauge, simply put it on there, and it'll read the pressure down at the bottom in PSI, pounds per square inch. We can see here that this is so low, it's barely reading. It's probably 10 pounds in it at best. So how do we properly inflate it? Well, we're going to need an air chuck. Go down to the local store or come by the shop. We'll use this tool to inflate it. And that sounds like that's all we need to do. But we need to know how much to inflate it to, because overinflated is just as bad as underinflated. We can look at the tire, and on here we're going to find a cold pressure rating rated in PSI. And it's going to say anywhere from 32 to 80 pounds depending on the vehicle. We'll want to find that so we know the maximum inflation cold. We're going to look until we find the load rating. And here we find the maximum PSI is 44 PSI, pounds per square inch cold. We don't want to fill it any more than that, but we don't want to underfill it either. We want to fill it to 44. So it seems like checking the air pressure is no big deal. It's not. It's really simple to do, but we want to make sure we got the correct pressure. How do we find that? Let me show you. We open the door and we locate the sticker. It's usually right here. It could be down on the lower rocker, but it's on the driver's side. And after we look around, we'll see right here it says 35 PSI. That's the pressure that the tire requires that was sold with the vehicle. But if you change the tires later to a high-performance tire, mud and snow or anything else, look at the cold pressure on the side of the tire to make sure you're properly inflated. This could be 35 today, but we get a performance tire, it's 44, 45, or even higher. We'll want to make sure we're inflating the tire properly. A couple of things you're going to need if you're checking your own tires: tire gauge and a rag, because you are going to get a little dirty. If you don't want to do that, I don't blame you. Bring it to the shop, we'll check it for you. We'll do a whole inspection on the vehicle if you like. We'll check the tires, make sure you're safe. This can save you a lot of time and keep you safe. Crazy Terry here with your car care tip of the day. Thanks a lot.
All right, we are back for round two. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWTVcorp.com. My name is Bill Miller, co-host along with
Jeff Belknap.
And if you're just joining us, we were talking about the official kickoff to the 2017-18 NFL season, that being the Hall of Fame game and induction.
Yep.
And talking about some of the current movement, recent movement players. And unfortunately, we have NFL player DB, starting defensive back for the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. His second being busted for PEDs. This is now a 10-game suspension. This comes off last year where he had a 4-game suspension. And, of course, since this is now his second offense, he will now, if it's number 3, strike 3, that's an automatic 2-year suspension. He'll have to reapply. Again, this is the course of Falcons, which had that great record, coming in, and, of course, that unbelievable meltdown in the Super Bowl. But obviously looking forward to getting back to where they were. And, of course, that meant their defense was playing also very well. Clearly they had an offense that was clicking on all cylinders, but what you need.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I saw it in 28-3 with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the third.
Yeah.
And you give up 4 touchdowns.
We, I remember us immediately after the Super Bowl. And, of course, we had our NBA guy from Atlanta who was kind enough to come on, a diehard Falcon fan. We were asking the basic question to everyone we talked to that night was this a case of the greatest comeback or the greatest meltdown? And I think that if I'm not mistaken, the winner or loser in this case was the fact that it was the meltdown. Yeah. The ultimate worst meltdown of any team. They just simply switched gears, simply got away from things that were working for them. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that was it. Yeah. And, and so, I mean, I'm sitting there saying to myself, we clearly we've got to do things better. And just in terms of our picks. But who saw that coming? I had written that game off. Yeah. I really had. And, but unfortunately now they're starting DB. He is out now for first 10 games, and because it is his second offense. And so if I'm the Falcons, it's like, yeah, sure, he's allowed to practice in preseason. He's allowed to even play in preseason games. But why would you? You got to be looking at guys who are actually going to be able to play on week 1.
Well, when you look at that type of suspension, I mean, you're looking at a guy that's trying to better himself at least. And I'm not saying that it's good. I'm just saying that he's trying to better himself. It's unlike other suspensions where guys do like stuff that's really not that smart.
Well, you mean where they end up that ounce of weed ends up costing them like $980,000 because that's the amount of money it's going to cost them in terms of suspension. Would that be it?
I'm more thinking about you have a young guy that's plays in Dallas. Yeah. That is in a bar for some reason. I just don't understand the whole concept of that. I mean, I understand going out with your buddies and everything, but when conflicts start, it seems like you need to be the first one out the door. Yeah. And
who has the most to lose?
I liked Jerry Jones, the way that he kind of stepped in and said, nope, none of this is happening. No, this is somebody else's decision, Mm-hmm. But Jerry Jones runs the league, and it is what it is. So one of the other things that I saw, which I was very
impressed the unofficial with, NFL commissioner was inducted in the Hall of Fame over the weekend?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
It's kind of like he's kind of like the LeBron James of the he's the GM / best player / coach.
Yeah, and Cowboy fans, please, no emails this week. Just.
No,
we're just kind of going with the information that we have.
Right, and he's innocent.
Okay. And of course, if you listen to the disclaimer at the beginning of the show, it is our opinions.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't get this information that we're forced to publish. It is our opinions.
Well, one of my favorite stories this week was Eddie Lacy was able to get under his weight of 250.
Yeah. And what was Eddie's incentive to get under that weight?
$55,000.
I tell you,
he got to stay underweight, which was great.
Wow. Nobody offered me anything to lose.
Well, that might have been what it cost him to hire a chef, but he actually did.
He did it?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Eddie.
And, Mark Sanchez, looking pretty good in Chicago, even with a lot of the negative publicity. No one really wanted him to go to Chicago. And I've always liked Sanchez. I know he's a USC guy, so that's a little tough.
Honestly, I liked Mark when he graduated, when he finally got out of USC. I wasn't a Mark Sanchez, hater at that point. Go Bruins. But I will say this.
I know you're a
that,
big Bruins guy.
Yeah, I think he had really kind of, he was sort of baptism on the fire, and he had some initial success just simply based on the fact that the Jets had that killer defense.
Yeah.
And were able to get to the AFC Championship game 2 years in a row. So he, and then, of course, things started to kind of spiral out of control, and he's kind of bounced around. But, given the options for Chicago this year, even with Trubisky,
yep.
I think at some point Sanchez is going to end up playing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to start a rookie, but, Mitch has got some talent, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, well, I mean, for somebody who played only, 9 games?
Yeah.
In their
whole college career.
Whole college career. Okay.
Okay, so I got one more thing before we move on because our guest is here.
Oh,
so
that's outstanding.
Have you heard of Major League Football?
Major League Football?
Major League Football?
No, I'm afraid.
Okay, so Major League Football is a spring league that's started by a bunch of ex-NFL guys.
Okay.
They have a big announcement coming up this month, and that's all the information that they're giving us.
Really? So it's a teaser.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically what happened last year is they started this league. They had everything. They actually drafted players, which were a lot of like ex-arena guys, some ex-pro guys that they went off the practice rosters.
Right.
And, basically like right now is when the league would be going on. So these guys would be like really practicing up to make a roster.
Right.
If you go to their website, which is mlfb.com,
okay,
they've changed the site. So now it just says coming soon.
Okay.
So it's really a big time teaser, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do. I mean, they got some guys. I'm a big Wes Chandler fan as a kid. I had a Charger jersey, number 89.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, I just liked it because of the colors, But
yeah,
I like the
people
lightning
would
bolt.
Scoff at you in Detroit.
Well, no, because we're Detroit, so it's.
It was nice to.
You always had to have a second team in Detroit.
Just
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because Detroit. It's okay to like Detroit, but usually people from Detroit will always says to each other like, "Who else do you like?"
Who else do you like?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Really?
So yeah, I'm rooting for the Raiders really hard. Not only because they're coming here, but I really like their quarterback. I liked him in college. Derek Carr is a stand-up guy. I like what he stands for as a person, Christian guy. He's got some, really solid foundation.
I think he's talented.
Mm-hmm.
Runs in the family.
Yep.
I mean, obviously his brother kind of getting thrust into that Texas franchise, literally their first pick.
Right.
And just having to be on a tough team and running for his life.
Yeah.
I think he still holds the record for the most sacks.
Right. Being sacked, yeah.
Being sacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which means that doesn't include all of the knockdowns. That just
right.
means
that just kind of comes with the
just
business.
means it was officially a sack. And I think that he has a younger brother as well. They've got one more brother.
Yeah, in college right now.
And is he going to Fresno State or is he going somewhere else?
You know what? I'm not sure.
Okay, because Fresno State has been their
that's been their go-to.
Yeah,
they grew up in the area. So
yeah. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to take our second break, and when we come back, we have an in-studio guest. This is Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. We'll be right back. All right, we are back for round 3. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. And as promised, we have an in-studio guest. But first, my name is Bill Miller, co-host along with
Jeff Belknap.
And our in-studio guest, Dorian Thompson Robinson, a senior, who is going to be, you're a senior transfer, right?
I've been in the whole time.
Okay, all right. Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm really talking about. Senior quarterback, Bishop Gorman, powerhouse here in Las Vegas. Dorian, thank you so much, young man, for coming in.
Oh, yeah, thanks
really
for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Yeah,
Yes,
all
sir.
right. So you're getting ready for your senior year, which means, and you know, despite our age, at one time we were seniors. And I know what it meant for me.
One room schoolhouse.
Yeah. Leather helmets. Yeah. Thank you, John. I know what it meant as far as like being a senior, going into your senior year. It's like you kind of look back on what you've done,
Yeah.
and what led up to it. And of course, you've already made some big decisions about your next step, which we'll hold in suspense. But so how does it feel, really, just kind of going into your senior year over at Gorman?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a blessing. Got the card in the mail. It's talking about senior breakfast. So I mean, just think about how much time has flown by and stuff like that. It's really just crazy to me, and how all my friends are seniors now. We're gonna finally take this thing for full stride. So
Yeah. Well, it's again Gorman coming off of another successful campaign, and you've been there for those successful campaigns. How did it feel like? Did you know anyone that talked about like the senior breakfast, but you were a junior or sophomore? And did you hear about these mystery things that were going on for seniors that you weren't privy to?
oh no, I mean, of course, going to school there, you kind of know that there's a senior breakfast and all this other stuff, or special events for seniors. But I mean, now Jack says senior, it's kind of like, oh, it's here now. So
Yeah, I mean, I played, high school football. Didn't have any offers. So not your level, obviously. But we always heard these things, it was like this sort of secret society that was seniors only. It was called Big I, which was, it was not just the Inglewood High Letterman Club, but you were a senior at a particular. And they always kind of like hushed tones. I mean, listen, there were none of these.
That's right.
The only Google we had was called the library. But there was like these messages going, around that, and then people would like say, "Hey, you're gonna do?" "No, I got something to do," that sort of thing. So, but not quite at Gorman. I'm surprised. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
not that much.
So we're a couple weeks away from the season starting.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you feeling? How's the team looking, I should say?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Right now we're looking solid. I mean, we got a good defensive core and a good receiving core on offense too. So right now we're overall looking solid. I mean, we're really ready for that first game. So we're just chopping at the bit day by day, trying to get ready for it.
Yeah, so the 25th you'll be at home, the game on ESPN. I mean, how's that feel? I mean, that's like, some big stuff happening.
Yeah, I mean, for me and a lot of the other guys that have played varsity for a while, we've kind of gotten used to the whole TV and playing with big crowds and stuff like that. So, I mean, for us, it's just fun. It's something to do. And really just to go out and show our stuff on national TV and not just in front of our home crowd. And so, we're really going to just go out there and just play as one team. So
Nice. That's solid.
Well, you seem very relaxed for starters. Okay.
Extremely relaxed.
Calm down. All right. But you're right. This really isn't your first rodeo.
yeah.
And how many times is Gorman going to be on ESPN this year?
At least 2, and then Fox Sports West.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. In terms of yourself, why don't you just go ahead and share with folks you've made a decision on which college you're going to go to?
Yeah, I am committed to the UCLA Bruins. So.
You heard it here, folks. My man here
UCLA
is committed
Bruins.
to UCLA Bruins.
Yes, sir.
What was your overall decision in going to UCLA?
Yeah, it was really between Michigan and UCLA. And it really just came down to the education part. And, I mean, it really wasn't football. You're going to have that everywhere and stuff like that, and all the new uniforms or whatever. So, and then for me, it just came down to where I felt close to home and where home was for me, and that place was UCLA. So, yeah, I mean, I go down there and visit all the time. It's like 2 hours away or so. So, I mean, it's right down the street. So I feel just like at home.
Well, I can tell you this, that I was praying for great weather when you were in Michigan, because I know that that's like the thing. The reason why I live here, honestly, is because of the gray, dreary, thing about Michigan. And I get it. You don't want to be in there for 4 years and all that. But in UCLA is beautiful. I mean, you're talking about in Southern California and everything, and the education. I do agree. That, I mean, what are you studying? What's going to be your major?
For the longest, I wanted to go in like the dentistry route, but now I'm kind of looking into more business stuff, and so I mean, I'm kind of all over the place right now. So
nice. Well, business management, you can't really go wrong. Anything that has to do with finance. I mean, because that gives you an opportunity to take your business mind somewhere. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and obviously, a lot of the alumni coming out of UCLA.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and if should you decide to, to re-enter the medical field, UCLA Medical Center is one of the best in the world.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So yeah, but it's nice that you have a plan in place. How do you feel about the coaching staff and at UCLA and some of the players?
Oh yeah, Coach Moore is definitely a great head coach. We were actually down there for a barbecue like 2 weeks ago, and he raved about me so much, and it was just, he really brought me in like I was his son or so. And then getting the quarterback coach Jed Fish over from Michigan to come over to UCLA was just like icing on the cake for me. So me and him have a really good relationship too.
Yeah, did you get a chance to meet Rosen?
Oh yeah. I've actually met him a couple times beforehand at camps and stuff, and then we played him my freshman year at Gorman. So from then on, I just kind of headbutts here and there. So
yeah,
that's good stuff.
All right.
Still reeling. I can't. I was thinking he's gonna pick Michigan. We got Harbaugh there, NFL quarterback. He's gonna do it. But man, I'm really proud of you, man. What you're doing in the city, and I know that's it takes a big set of shoulders to do what you're doing.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I know you got your family behind you, and people praying for you to make the right decisions and everything. So
you have your mom here tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's your mom's name?
Melva Thompson Robinson.
Yeah.
Right. Welcome, ma'am.
She's
I know you're proud of your young man here. Yes. Yeah, and who, by the way, you have a Michigan.
She's got a Michigan cup and a UCLA hat.
So. UCLA hat. Yeah. You had your bases covered.
Right.
Yeah. And listen, and this is not to obviously poke fun at Michigan. You are poking fun at Michigan. No, honestly, if I have a team to root for in the Big Ten, I do root for Michigan.
That's true.
We have a co-host here, Brett Price, who's the athletic director over at Findlay Prep.
Yeah.
And he's OSU.
Yeah, he's big time Ohio State. Yeah.
And we also have a contributor who calls in from Cleveland, George Mish, and he is a Buckeye fan through and through. So we play, off of each other. We have a lot of fun with it, but
But I'm really glad you didn't pick OSU. Believe me.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't either. Then you both have trouble with both of us here.
That's it. But so you guys came in preseason number 4 with Gorman. I mean, that obviously just gonna fuel a little bit of fire. I mean, how's that get the people going in the locker room?
Oh yeah, I mean, for us, like I said, we've been through this before, so. And we've actually never been ranked number 1 preseason, so I mean, we kind of know they're gonna set it up to where we can kind of play somebody to make that national championship. So, but yeah, we're excited. We played the number 1 team this year, so we're definitely excited for that game too. But right now, our minds are focused on the math in that first game. So
right, yeah. And I will tell you, I live in the neighborhood. I live by Gorman, so when the games are happening, I know already because it gets real busy around there, and then people parking down the street and everything. Great facility out there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Very
I mean,
impressive.
the Fertitas have done a really good job, pouring in, and they just they're building a new facility for UNLV as well.
Yes,
which is really helping out UNLV quite a bit. So you want to give who's going to be your go-to guy? I don't want to give away like playbook or anything, but who are going to be your go-to guys, on offense?
Oh yeah, really my whole receiving core, starting with my tight end Brevin Jordan, then working my way down to my slot / outside receiver Rashid Speedy Naylor. He's definitely got that name for a reason. So
he's got wheels.
Yeah, we got a tall guy out there on the outside too, Cedric Tillman, who's just got a couple offers this past off season, and then we also have a little underrated slot too, and Jimmy Tellis. So
Nice.
we definitely got a nice little receiving core coming back.
Like a little Eric Decker type.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh,
I
okay.
like it. And then you got some linemen. I know you got Jacob.
Yeah.
You got Jacob. We tried to get Jacob on today. He's been doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
I noticed he's been doing a lot of work, and he was at the UCLA
Mm-hmm.
workout with you a few weeks back. So I mean, is that? I know he hasn't committed yet. Is he leaning?
Oh
or
yeah,
what's he
I'm
doing?
definitely always in his ear. Trying to get him over to
That's what I'm talking
UCLA.
about. There you go.
But yeah, I mean, he's still venturing out. I mean, I know when they went down for the spring game, him and his family, his mom like wanted to commit like on the spot. So I mean, he definitely has some interest. So I'm definitely trying to get him there.
Well, we've had him on the show. He's a really good guy. You know, his dad came on with him, and it was very entertaining. They're good. They're a good group of guys.
They were.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And so are there, you know anybody else in your class or in junior class that's, kind of leaning toward, blue and gold?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Actually, I'll be playing a couple of them this year. The number one receiver in the country over at Mater Dei in California. So
nice.
me and him were kind of like best buds and stuff. So I'm definitely trying to get him to come over to UCLA too. And then, I mean, I kind of started this recruiting class. So,
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, we have a
You should go
group
into
chat and
marketing.
stuff.
Gifted salesman. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
I mean,
great.
we have a very good recruiting class right now. We're just slowly working our way up.
All right.
That's
what I
awesome.
hear.
I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
mean, Mater Dei and, Bishop Gorman are like kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Mater Dei is considered, the BG of California and vice versa. And they've always been a force to reckon with.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean that's excellent. What are you have personal goals that you'd like to accomplish for your last year, your senior year?
Personal goals. This may sound kind of like a team goal, but I mean, just to win. That's really. I mean, you can have the worst stats ever as a quarterback. If you win, nobody can say anything really. So,
Agreed.
I mean, really
Absolutely agreed.
I mean, we're on a 54-game win streak right now. So, I mean, I don't want to be the guy to lose it. So,
Okay. Also agreed.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, that's really my only goal this year, is just to get this team through the season undefeated again. So,
Yeah. And you're starting out pretty in some tough spots.
oh yeah.
They always stack your schedule in the beginning. And I remember going into last season, they said that if you guys could win the first 5 games, you would, coast through the season as number one.
Yeah.
A couple of those games were pretty tough.
Oh yeah. There's some nail biters in there.
Yeah, I was at the game with Michael Irvin's son.
Oh yeah, St. Thomas. That was.
Yeah, that was really. I was like, it was stressing me out, man. I'm like up there really sweating, So to see you guys come back and win was great.
That was a tough game.
Oh yeah.
And that said a lot about you guys' fortitude and not giving up. We're at the end of the day. I mean, we're talking about a very good team in Gorman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still talking about your
So hang on.
not the kids, your high
Yeah.
school kids,
Right after the break.
and
Okay.
it was excellent the way to see you guys come back and that win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that you have to be kind of really out of it if you're a high school football fan and not know who Bishop Gorman is.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Not just here in Nevada, but if you, especially for the folks down there in Texas, are still trying to figure out a team to either come here
That's
or
right.
host you and beat you.
Yep.
They're trying. They got to figure it out because they think they invented football. Period. Down there in Texas. And high school is serious business. High school football is serious business.
Well, I did hear the other day that they were building a $60 million stadium in one of the cities.
Wow.
And I actually went to a McAllen or an Allen game, Allen, Texas game last year. My friend took me. When I was walking up, I'm like, wait, this is a high school game? Because it was really like a college atmosphere. We got there, everyone had their things on. They had the big tunnel where guys come running out and fireworks going off. I'm like, what's going on here? So, yes, you're right, Bill. It is really serious.
Yeah,
And,
it's no joke.
I appreciated the fact that, you guys went down there and Liberty went down there last year and picked up a W. And I know anytime you guys go out of state, the one thing I like about Vegas football is, the Vegas teams rally behind Vegas a lot. So you got some fans, man. There'll be some fans in the seat for this one.
Oh yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's
August
for sure.
25th at Fertitta Field.
Yeah, get ready for
It's going to
it.
be electric.
Yes, I mean, all you have to do is go to your website. It's it's pretty electric itself. I mean,
that weight room is electric.
Yeah,
nicer than 24-hour fitness.
yeah. My goodness gracious. Yeah, we heard that it's that there are not a lot of college teams, D1 teams that've got a facility such as over here at Bishop Gorman.
Oh yeah, we're very blessed to have that stuff. So
yeah, you played for Mark Sanchez too.
Tony
Sanchez. I'm sorry, I got him a bit mixed up. Mark is current coach.
We were talking about Mark earlier.
Tony, right? Tony, you played for Tony as well.
Yeah,
right. And did he put the arm on you to maybe try to get you over at UNLV?
Oh yeah, he was. They were my first offer.
Okay.
And so that was my end of my freshman year, and so but yeah, he was.
So your freshman year, you had an offer.
Yeah.
That says a lot, young man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we know you obviously can read a playbook.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Which is important. Yeah. And obviously because you were going to
UCLA.
He loves hearing that every time.
Yes.
He's going to be laying on his pillow tonight thinking about that one.
Yeah, humming the old fight song. You'll get to know it. In fact, we obviously we know that your schedule is going to, and your time is going to start getting short.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with classes but we obviously would like to maybe even have you call in.
If you had some time.
Onto the show and see how you're doing. We'll obviously be following how you're doing. And you learn that fight song. If that will be your trick question, I'll hum I may give you the first couple of bars and lines, and then you're gonna have to take it over from there. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You want to send a shout out to to anybody? Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, shout out to my mom. Shout out to all the family back at the house. I mean, that's
you're a singular individual. We now know. You're obviously your goals are the team's goals, and listen, I mean, anybody you want to send a shout out to? Well, your mom's here. I mean, that would be the first one, obviously. Yeah.
Girlfriend, no.
That's all right. Not today. Not today.
Yeah, all right.
I know about kids.
I understand. Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, man.
We really appreciate it.
We have been trying to get you on for a while, so I know you got a busy schedule, so we really appreciate you taking the time to come check us out.
Yeah, so we're going to kind of wrap up this show, but we want you to stick here because obviously we've got some questions that all of our guests this time of year especially. Yeah, those are the questions we put to you. Not the fight song. We'll get to that next time we have you on. But we've got some serious questions that we've got to put to them. Yep. And but meantime, the upcoming game with Bishop Gorman is
the 25th at Fertitta Field.
Yep. Okay.
That's going to be a big.
That's a
start.
Friday night under the lights, and kind of the official kickoff to. Obviously here it never feels like fall until sometime the end of November, around Thanksgiving. But it really is sort of like when the Friday night lights kick into action here in Southern Nevada.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think we're all looking forward to it. But so anyway, all of our guests, we this time of year we put the questions to them, and this has to do with NFL football.
Okay.
All right. Okay. See, yeah, I'm glad you're sweating. This is what we're talking about. Do you have a favorite NFL team?
I actually do not.
You do not?
No, I rarely watch NFL. I'm a big college guy. I study college film, so.
Well, yeah, I can kind of imagine that because one, you're concentrating on high school.
Yeah.
But and then the next level, you're kind of looking at obviously potential competition.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're looking at Pac-12.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. If you were to have an NFL team, which one would it be?
Cam Newton? I mean, are you a Cam Newton fan? Or?
Kinda.
He took way too long to answer that. Yeah, I got that impression.
Probably a Green Bay Packers fan. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers guy. So.
Okay. All right. Does your mom have a favorite NFL team? Yeah. Yeah, you guys just like on Sundays, it's wide open.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I like Aaron Rodgers.
Saturdays and college people.
All right. No, but you are aware of the NFL.
Oh.
I wasn't knew that. All right. Yeah. I would like for your prediction for each team, the NFC and the AFC team, for the 2018 Super Bowl. prediction. Let's start with the NFC. Who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl? Dun, 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 dun.
What are the teams in the NFC? I'm telling you,
Let's see. You got there's the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Your Packers. If you were to have them, the Packers.
I think he's probably got
Giants, Cowboys, Rams, 49ers.
You're reaching with the Rams.
Bears, Lions.
No.
Is in D-Town. Saints. Falcons, who were last year.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Cowboys.
Cowboys, okay.
Go with
All right.
Cowboys.
AFC. Usual suspects. Patriots.
Yeah,
Steelers.
Patriots.
I'm
Patriots?
going to go with Patriots. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we've
Try
got
to
you
go
down.
against Belichick.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, really. So you've got basically Dallas and which? How do you think? Really, do you have them? Don't watch it much, but Dak.
Yeah,
Prescott.
that's really my main reason for picking them is Dak and Zeke.
Yeah.
So I mean, those two players are kind of gonna bring them up slope. So.
Did you watch Zeke when he was at Ohio State?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Dak when he was at Mississippi State.
Oh yeah. Actually, what's funny is I was a big Ohio State fan, so I mean I know all about Ohio State's history and kind of the players that have gone through there. So I mean I've always watched them, and so Zeke was one of those players too.
Oh, he's dominant. I mean, college, and even last year. I mean, he's the moves that he has are just ridiculous. His vision to catch a hole is just second to none.
You're not kidding. And who do you think would win the Super Bowl?
It's hard to root against Brady, but I mean, if the Cowboys were to make it, I'd pick the Cowboys.
Take the Cowboys?
Yeah.
All right. Honestly, I think that if the Cowboys can stay healthy and can get over that hurdle of just winning a playoff game, it might get them on a run.
Yep.
Where that they could beat whoever they end up playing.
Aaron Rodgers did shut him down at the end of that game. That was a performance of
pull
a
a rabbit
lifetime
out of
right
his
there.
hat. This guy is unbelievable.
The way he threaded that ball in there, I mean, it was just unbelievable. I don't know. Did you catch there was a meme today of Aaron Rodgers threw about a 50-yard pass into a basket today. Did you by chance catch that one? I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. He drops back, just does a fake, steps up, and throws the ball. And I just thought he was throwing it.
Yeah.
But there's a basket. It's about this big, and he buries it in the basket from like 50 yards away. I mean, the guy's just unbelievable. And the way he did my Lions in that game, I'm always still reeling about that one. But the Phantom face mask penalty.
Yeah. He gets a bit better at some of those things. But listen, again, Dorian, thank you so much for coming in.
Yes, sir.
Really appreciate it.
Thank
Obviously,
you.
we wish you the absolute best of luck on your senior year with Bishop Gorman.
Yes, sir.
And more than anything, young man, have fun.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you.
Dorian Robinson, senior quarterback, Bishop Gorman High School. Thank you very much for joining us. And headed, of course, for UCLA, Westwood, California. Hail Bruins, baby. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. Join us next Monday, the 14th. I'm sorry. We have a call? Hey,
we'll take a break and then bring him in.
All right. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we've got a caller. I'm sorry. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Mike McAuliffe.
And I'm Perry Haichu.
We're the hosts of the Nevada Cannabis News Hour.
Join us on WWDBTV.com.
Put her hand in mine and said she loved me so very long ago.
Hey, how's it going? You can just throw your name up on the list and we'll get right to you. Yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks for coming in. Let me just clean this spot up and then we'll get right to you. You can hop on up if you're ready. Welcome to the shop. You need a shave too, though, right?
I don't know if I would accept a shave from somebody who's unshaven.
I look like a child when I have a clean-shaven face.
No, I wouldn't want a child cutting my hair. And I'd also need to know that the blades have been sanitized thoroughly.
I can guarantee you that the barbicide is 100% authentic, and these are sanitized tools I'm using.
Well, what is the...
Have you ever gotten a straight razor shave?
Is there any other kind? stuff smells like Irish Spring.
Brings me back to childhood.
Did you grow up in a chemical plant? Hurry up.
Yeah, well, you know. Now you look like $1 million.
Well, that's your job. I'll be sure and mention your facility during my show tonight.
All right. We are back. We are back. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWTVcorp.com. My name is Bill Miller. Apparently, windbag Bill Miller, along with
Jeff Belknap.
And with us on the line, we are fortunate to have a friend of Southern Nevada Sports News, Eddie Razzario of Massage Band Therapy in Monrovia, California. Eddie, how you doing, man?
Good afternoon, guys, or good evening, I guess. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you staying on hold. But, you know, and again, I just did not see the signal that you were actually on hold. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Well, this is what really happened, Eddie. We had Dorian Thompson Robinson on, and he is a quarterback for Bishop Gorman. That's just signed with UCLA, and I know that could be big for you guys out there. Bill's a big UCLA fan, so he was. I think you're just a little excited. What do you think?
Oh, hell yeah! Yeah, I'm willing to say, you know, arguably one of the number one championship high school team from last 2 years.
Yep.
And he's a senior quarterback, and so I see big things ahead for the Bruins. But
that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, Massage Band's been just trying to get in contact with Bishop Gorman for the past maybe 8 months. So maybe you guys can help us out with that.
Yeah, hey, listen, whatever we can do, man. And obviously, and first, let me ask you, Eddie. How close are you guys? Looking to move here to Las Vegas?
Things are looking up. Maybe in the middle of the new year of 2018, we're looking at something out there. Where there's a possible opportunity to maybe build a headquarters in Las Vegas for Massage Band. We're pretty excited about it. We're actually going to be out there this weekend. We're going to be training at ATI, a vocational school that trains personal trainers. So we're having the opportunity to train some personal trainers on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend.
Well, I'm glad to hear that's coming forward, because I remember the last time you were actually on the show that you mentioned that.
Yeah, exactly. And we went out there, I think, a month and a half ago, and we did another presentation, and we signed up more personal trainers. So, Massage Band is looking up, to be honest, and a lot of great moves have happened in the past maybe 6-8 months. And being one of them is, being able to train personal trainers, and we just finished a training course out here with the gentleman. We did a one-on-one training out here in SoCal, and he's up and running with Massage Band. He's certified and trained, and it's amazing how many people that have gone on this table and that have experienced what it is and how it works, and they're not going back to their traditional type of mindset.
Nice. So, well done. The thing about ATI is, you mentioned it a few weeks back, when we were on the show, and I never noticed how many locations they have. I noticed one right down the street from where I work, and then I started driving around town, and I'm like, wait a second, they're over there, they're over here. I mean, how many locations do they have in Vegas?
I think they have like 2 or 3, actually. I know the main one is off Decatur. And I know they have one. They're actually going to be expanding out to, I think, Sacramento and San Antonio, Texas. Nice. So they're pretty well known, and they really do some great work there. Not just for the personal training, for automotive as well. So great school, great people. The director there, Rich Washington, which is the gentleman that gave us the opportunity to showcase and present and demo, has given us that that open door. And now we're just walking through it and letting Vegas know that, Massage Band is going to be coming and might be coming for permanent stay.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Well, listen, man, we certainly hope so. And Eddie, we obviously look forward to the next time that you're going to be in Las Vegas to give us a heads up so that you can be a guest on the show.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you guys have, played a huge role, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on the show, but I say that because, you guys have been the first, people to actually have us on live radio and giving us the opportunity to call back and be in show, and people have been asking, and, I see that your guys' following is huge, and, I just want to be able to marry it together in the future and see how far we can take it.
Well, listen, and again, and real quick, what's your website?
MassageBandInc.com.
And Twitter, Facebook, are you on that as
Twitter is Massage Band Inc. Instagram is Massage Band Inc. And Facebook is Massage Band.
All right. Beautiful. Hey, thank you so much, man. Again, thanks for hanging on, and we look forward to having you in town, okay?
Absolutely. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys very soon.
All right. Thanks, Eddie. Eddie Razzario, Massage Band Therapy out of Monrovia, California, and soon, hopefully, here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you, folks, so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you next Monday. It will be round 2 of our college football predictions. Southern Nevada Sports News, WWTVcorp.com. Have a great week.
God bless.